How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Robert Arms. My name's Rob, and I'm the host of this channel. If you're unfamiliar with this subject, it's called Gun Anatomy, where I discuss the origins and mechanisms of common and uncommon weapon platforms. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started right now. Today, we're going to be discussing a very famous and fine piece of German engineering. Speaking of engineering, YouTube decided to age restrict my recent video on the forced reset mechanism that I made a couple weeks ago. Luckily for us today, we'll be talking about a weapon system that's known to be a lot less dangerous, some could say. Clearly not as dangerous as a piece of metal in your AR-15. The Mauser Kar98k. The German Karabiner 98 Kurz, or the Kar98k, is a German infantry bolt-action rifle with a 5-round magazine chambered in an 8mm Mauser, and it was heavily issued by the German military from 1935 to the end of World War II. This weapon is a shorter, evolved modification of the original Gewehr 98 rifle with over 9 million produced. The Kar98k has a renowned reputation as a reliable and accurate bolt-action rifle used by many snipers and infantry alike. It uses an extended claw extractor with a rotating bolt and serves as the basis of many other famous bolt-action rifle designs. The Kar98k is deeply intertwined with the history of World War II and was heavily involved in many of the German military's successes and failures during the war. Many military veterans and historians regard the Kar98k as one of the finest bolt-action rifles of its era. This rifle, including its scoped variant, has appeared in numerous films, video games, and literature in regards to World War II, and its iconic sound and distinctive appearance makes it very culturally significant. This is all due to the genius of its designer, which leads to my next segment, the lore. If you want to skip this portion of the video, which is kind of lame to be honest, what the hell's wrong with you? I'll label a timestamp in the description below so you can skip to the portion where I talk about how this weapon works on the inside. The Mauser 98 action was invented by Paul Mauser and his brother Wilhelm in the late 19th century. Paul showed an aptitude for gunsmithing at a very early age, following in the footsteps of his father Adrius Mauser, who was already a master gunsmith at the Royal Arms Factory in Imperial Germany. Paul and his brother Wilhelm Mauser worked together, with Paul focusing on the technical aspect of firearm design, while Wilhelm handled the business and financial side of things. The Paul brothers' first successes came with the invention of the Mauser Model 1871, which was adopted very hastily by the German army. It was a departure from the earlier needle gun designs that the Germans traditionally used, and featured a very robust and reliable bolt action, chambered in 11x60 Mauser. That is a weird-ass looking round, dude. The Model 1871 set the stage for future development and gave the Mauser brothers a very high reputation for innovation and quality. One of the more pivotal inventions by Paul Mauser was the controlled round feed action. This bolt-action extractor claw system ensured that the cartridge would reliably be able to be extracted without any chances of jams or failures. The control feed action was a hallmark of Mauser pattern rifles, and it was patented by Paul in 1895. Another critical innovation in design was the use of the stripper clip, first introduced in the Mauser 1889. This ensured that during combat situations, soldiers can reliably reload their rifles quicker than the average bolt-action rifle. Many other bolt-action rifle designs adopted the same concept. The culmination of all these innovations ended up in the Gewehr 98 rifle, and it was adopted by the German Army in 1898. The Gewehr 98 rifle had an internal 5-round magazine, and it was chambered in 7.92 by 57mm Mauser, or otherwise known as 8mm Mauser. And there is some distinctions with those cartridges. I'm sure I'll hear about it in the comments section. This rifle was praised for its robust ability to handle combat situations, and was accurate and reliable, and was used heavily in World War I by the German Army. During that era, the Gewehr 98 would have a variant that would be created as a shorter, lighter version of itself in use with cavalry and other artillery troops that needed something versatile and compact. This weapon would be known as the Kar98k or Kar98a. An important distinction with these style of rifles is that they would adopt a curved bolt design to improve ergonomics, prevent snagging, and make more efficient use of sniper scopes. Shortening the overall length of the rifle helped with compactness without sacrificing reliability and accuracy of the previous Gewehr 98 design. At the end of World War I, the Treaty of Versailles would heavily restrict Germany's ability to maintain a proper military, and that included restrictions on firearm manufacturing. In 1924, Germany would produce the Standard Model Mauser bolt-action rifle for military and civilian export, in secret violation of the treaty. These rifles were known to be versatile and reliable, and combine aspects of the design of the Gewehr 98 and the Kar 98. These rifles were used heavily in South America and Asia. When a certain Austrian painter and his political party would take power in 1933, Nazi Germany would adopt a new policy of serious military buildup. This ultimately led in 1935 to the adoption of a new military rifle for the German Wehrmacht, the Kar98k, or Kurz, which is German for the word short. After adoption by the German Wehrmacht, the design of the weapon would largely remain mostly unchanged, and would be used heavily throughout the Second World War as an infantry and sniper bolt-action rifle, until ultimately ending its usage at the climactic end of the Second World War in 1945. We have arrived at the end. If you enjoyed that segment, go ahead and check the links in the description below for any more information regarding the subject of the development of this weapon. Without further ado, let's go ahead and show how this weapon works on the inside. The Mauser Kar98k uses a bolt action with an extended claw extractor and rotating bolt. The shooter begins by opening the breech and loading 5 rounds into the internal magazine either by hand or via stripper clip. When the shooter pulls the trigger, it tilts the sear, which is holding back the cocking piece. The cocking piece is directly attached in line with the firing pin and is held by the sear in pressure with the firing pin spring. Once the sear clears the cocking piece, forces from the firing pin spring drives the firing pin forward to strike the primer of the cartridge. The trigger is then released and the sear moves back in position. Once fired, the bolt is then rotated. The 2 locking lugs in tandem rotate as well out of its recesses. Once unlocked, the bolt is pulled back and the extended claw extractor pulls the empty casing from the bore and is flung out via the ejector. The magazine spring then pushes the next cartridge into position of the bolt face, and the bolt is pushed forward, guiding the cartridge up the feed ramp into the bore. Once in position, the bolt is then rotated to lock the lugs into position, chambering the round. Under pressure of the firing pin spring, the cocking piece is repositioned behind the sear and reset, ready to start the process all over again. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to support this channel further, go ahead and check out my Patreon, and also check out my Instagram at RobertArmsOfficial for any updates regarding the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and I hope to see y'all in the next video.